Hey everybody. Okay, we're on chapter 12, and I'm probably going to have to break up 12 and 13 into two different videos like I did 10 and 11 because my phone for some reason won't let me record two whole chapters. Maybe it's the memory or something, I don't know, but anyway, chapter 12 of John. Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, who died, whom he had raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed Jesus' feet, and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the savor of the ointment. Then said one of his disciples, even Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? Now he said thus, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief, and had the bag, and bore that which was given. Then Jesus said, let her alone. Against the day of my burying she kept it. For the poor always ye have with you, but me ye shall not always have. Then much people of the Jews knew that he was there, and they came, not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might see Lazarus also, whom he had raised from the dead. The high priest therefore consulted that they might put Lazarus to death also, because that for his sake many of the Jews went away and believed in Jesus. On the morrow a great multitude that were come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus should come to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and went forth to meet him, and cried, Hosanna, blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Lord. And Jesus found a young ass, and sat thereon, as it is written, Fear not, daughter of Zion, behold, thy king cometh, sitting on an ass's colt. But his disciples understood not these things at the first. But when Jesus was glorified, they remembered that these things were written of him, and that they had done these things unto him. The people therefore that was with him bear witness that he called Lazarus out of the grave, and raised him from the dead. Therefore met him the people also, because they heard that he had done this miracle. And the Pharisees said amongst themselves, Perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world goeth after him. Now there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. And they came to Philip, which was of Bethsaida in Galilee, and desired him, saying, Sir, we would see that Jesus. Philip came and told Andrew, and again Andrew said, Philip told Jesus. And Jesus along them, saying, that's not what that says. And Jesus answered them, saying, The hour is come that the Son of Man must be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except the wheat corn fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me. For where I am, there shall my servant be. And if any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But therefore come I unto this hour. Father, glorify thy Son. Then came there a voice from heaven saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. Then said the people that stood by and heard, that it was a thunder. Others said, an angel spake unto him. Jesus answered and said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And if I were lift up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. Now this he said, signifying that death he should die. The people answered him, we have heard out of the law that Christ abideth forever. And how sayest thou that Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is that Son of Man? Then Jesus said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest the darkness came upon you. For he that walketh in the dark knoweth not whither he goeth. While ye have the light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of the light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and hid himself from them. And though he had done so many miracles before them, yet believed they not on him, that the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, that he said, Lord, who believeth our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? Hath he blinded their eyes, or he hath blinded their eyes, and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah when he saw his glory, and spake of him. Nevertheless, even among the chief rulers many believed in him, but because of the Pharisees they did not confess him, lest they should be cast out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. And Jesus cried and said, he that believeth in me believeth not in me, but in him that sent me. And he that seeth me seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth in me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words, and believe not, I judge him not. For I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. That he that refuseth me, and receiveth not my words, hath one that judgeth him. The word that I have spoken, it shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me the commandment what I should say, and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. The things thereof that I speak them, so the Father said unto me. Chapter 13. Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of the world unto the Father, for as much as he loved his own which were in the world, unto the end he loved them. And when supper was done, and that the devil had now put it in the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come forth from God, and went from God, he riseth from supper, and layeth aside his upper garments, and took a towel, and girded himself. After that he poured the water into a basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and wipe them with a towel wherewith he was girded. Then came he Simon Peter, who said to him, Lord, doest thou wash my feet? Jesus answered and said unto him, What I do thou knowest not now, but thou shalt know it hereafter. Peter said unto him, Thou shalt never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I wash thee not, thou shalt not have no part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and the head. Jesus said to him, He that is washed needeth not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit, and ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore he said, You are not all clean. So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garments, and was set down again, he said unto them, Know ye what I have done to you? Ye call me Master and Lord, and ye say, Well, for so am I. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that ye should do, even as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his master, neither the ambassador greater than he that sent him. If ye know the things, blessed are ye if ye do them. I speak not of you all. I know whom I have chosen, but it is that the scriptures might be fulfilled. He that eateth bread with me hath lifted up his heel against me. From henceforth today I tell you before it come, that when it is come to pass, ye might believe that I am he. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if I send any, he that receiveth him receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. When Jesus had said these things, he was troubled in the spirit, and testified, and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was one of his disciples which leaned on Jesus' bosom, whom Jesus loved. To him beckoned therefore Simon Peter, that he should ask who it was of whom he spake. He then, as he leaned on Jesus' breast, said unto him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And he wet a sop, and gave it to Judas Iscariot, Simon's son. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then Jesus said unto him, That thou doest quickly. But none of them that were at the table knew for what cause he spake it unto him. For some of them thought, because Judas had the bag, that Jesus had said unto him, But those things that we have need of,